Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Richard Taylor, and I'm going to get right into this video today without any preliminaries. Today was the monthly meeting for the Wayne County School Board of Education, and I attended that meeting. And as usual, I'm beginning to not be surprised at the information that I learned from these meetings. Now, as the caption state, this board just approved $231,000 and some odd cents, and you're going to hear the exact number when I play the report. But they approved almost $250,000 to remove asbestos from the now defunct or soon to be defunct Goldsboro High School building. As you all know, they're moving the Wayne School of Engineering to Wayne Academy, and they're moving the Goldsboro High School students until the building or the C building where the Wayne School of Engineering was. Now they're going to close Goldsboro High, the A and the B building, and allocate that area for like nutritional offices, administrative offices, and all of the other things that they said in the proposal. Now, mind you, $231,000 to remove asbestos is, I guess, now I'm not a construction or asbestos removal, so I guess that's a good price. But why now are you choosing to remove that asbestos? Now, according to Dr. Harrell, which you will hear, they actually did a study in 2012, 12 years ago, showing that the school had asbestos around the caulking in the windows in the A building, which is the main building, and you hear him say under the tunnel and under the auditorium and throughout the school. And now they quote unquote did another study to show that this is how much we're going to need, and now we're going to approve to get this asbestos removed. Now my question is, why wait until the school has failed and the building is now turned over to the school board to make these changes? Did not the students attending that school for the past 12 years deserve to have to attend a school that is free of asbestos? But now that the students have been removed, now you're going to remove the asbestos, because of course we don't want the administrators being affected by asbestos. Now I'm going to give you some of the symptoms of asbestos, which may give you an idea of probably why the students and the school has been failing, because students are being exposed to asbestos. Now you're going to listen right here to Dr. Harrell. He's going to break this proposal down to the school board.
This is a request in the amount of $231,462.78. This is for asbestos remediation and removal at Goldsboro High School. This will be asbestos removal from the window glazing and caulking on the A building, as well as the main tunnel that runs underneath the building, heads to underneath the stage, as well as any material that is housed underneath the stage that may have a concern of being contaminated at this time. There was money in the scope of this project for asbestos abatement based on the ARI report that the district had done 12 years ago.
So he's saying there was money in this allotment for asbestos abatement based on the ARI report done 12 years ago.
Somewhere in that time frame, a new report has been done but was not available when this bid scope was done. So there are funds in there for asbestos abatement. There was a concern about additional asbestos abatement, so there was more research done, and there were other areas found to have asbestos that were not mentioned on the 2012 ARI report.
So other areas were found to have asbestos that were not mentioned on the 2012 ARI report. So now all of a sudden that the students are not going to be there next year. They spent, various students have spent 12 years or 4 years breathing in and, having asbestos, possibly, I'll say possibly because, of course we don't know the extent of it, but students have been enduring this for 12 years. Now they want to take the step to remove this asbestos after the students are no longer going to be in the building.
So that is why this comes to you tonight as a request for a change request.
And the funds are available.
The funds would be coming out of ESSER. We have tapped out our ESSER funds, but we do believe we have an option to make sure this is covered. Yes, sir.
Any other questions for Dr. Harrell?
So this will be paid from our escrow.
That's our goal. Yes, sir. That's our goal.
So $231,000 to remove asbestos from a school that children are no longer going to be there. But 12 years ago, you knew that school had asbestos, but you felt it unnecessary to remove the asbestos. Then now, let's look at some of the side effects of asbestos. How are asbestos-related diseases detected? Shortness of breath, wheezing or hoarseness, a persistent cough that gets worse over time, blood in the sputum, fluid coughed up from lungs, pain or tightening of the chest, difficulty swallowing, swelling of the neck or face, loss of appetite, and weight loss. And we also probably are very familiar with that cancer, mesothelioma. Mesothelioma. If you've seen that commercial, asbestos causes that. Now, also, how does asbestos affect behavior? And it affects you psychologically by being obsessive and compulsive, interpersonal sensitivity, depression, anxiety, hostility, phobic anxiety, paranoid ideation, psychoticism, and global severity index. Now, I'm going to admit I don't know what all of those phrases mean, but I do know what obsessive, compulsive, interpersonal sensitivity, depression, anxiety, hostility, phobic anxiety, paranoid ideation, psychoticism. And the first and the last two are foreign to me, but I know they cannot be good. So ask yourself, why would this school board, and of course I know members of the school board were not on the board then in 2012, but why would students be allowed to attend a school tainted with asbestos, knowing the side effects? Now, can we attribute some of the behavior, be it disciplinary or academic failure or any such other adverse behavior from our students at Goldsboro High School? Could that be attributed to this asbestos? And while they are at it, they should look at the severity of those things. Now, this is just me thinking. Like, if they did a study 12 years ago and it showed asbestos, it should either had been taken out then, or the school closed till it can be removed and then bring the students back in, right? Nevertheless, this board, this school system allows students to attend this school knowingly with having asbestos. Now, since the students are no longer going to be there and they are going to be there for various administrative services, then, oh yeah, let's clean this up. I find that very hypocritical. And shout out to Miss Phyllis Merritt James, who came up to speak, and she spoke on behalf of the Goldsboro High School. And I'm going to let you guys hear what she had to say, which was very well thought out and very pertinent to this issue that we're talking about. And here she is.
Yes, Phyllis Merritt James.
Good evening, Dr. Richard and Board Chair and Committee. I'm Phyllis Merritt James, and I'm standing here today just to talk about suggestions for plans regarding Goldsboro High to remain as a HAS school. I attended Goldsboro High School, Goldsboro City Schools from 5th grade through high school, and I'm a proud 1983 graduate of Goldsboro High. My children are graduates of Goldsboro High, as well as a couple from Wayne School of Engineering. For years, I've spoken on numerous occasions regarding the proper utilization of classroom spaces in Goldsboro and the need to invest more money to upgrade Goldsboro High School. I have read with intent the plan to move the Wayne School of Engineering to the Old West Building, which I'd advocated for its inceptions instead of making it an alternative school and administrative building. That's a good move. The plan now to move the student population into the current Wayne School of Engineering building should only be viewed as a very temporary situation. Goldsboro High needs...
She said, moving the students to the former Wayne Engineering should only be a temporary situation. And watch what she says. And we're going to go back to what she's referring to in a minute.
Remain, though a paradigm shift is warranted. Why can we not make Goldsboro High a H.A.S. school? Health, arts, and sciences, which can serve as a springboard for those interested in the allied health sciences, like nursing assistant, nursing, dialysis tech, etc. Arts, we could house the Arts Acute there along with music. And the science piece, my son Kevin had recommended having CAD options there, where they're making different things. We have very brilliant and talented youth in Goldsboro, and they do not deserve to be stripped of opportunities, in the proud legacy of Goldsboro High and Cougar Pride remains strong. We are having a migration from the suburbs back into the city, and Goldsboro is the heart of this county, and you cannot function with a broken heart. I'm a nurse practitioner, believe me, you can act. You cannot take care of it. Goldsboro High School needs to be gutted. I'm glad you're doing some abatement.
Goldsboro High School needs to be gutted. Glad you're doing some abatement.
It needs to be updated and reopened as GHS has Cougar Pride. Thank you very much, and I've got just a copy.
So she's saying that it needs to be upgraded, right? And now I'm going to take you back. Before Dr. Harrell in his nice suit, very, very astute gentleman, before he talked about Goldsboro, he talked about some changes and some upgrades at Rosewood. Let me see if I can get right there.
To item O on the agenda.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Harrell, Rosewood Middle School contract.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So you have board members loaded tonight in Board Docs item O, which is the Rosewood Middle School pre-construction contract. This is between Wayne County Public Schools and Daniels & Daniels Construction Company for pre-construction services for the construction of Rosewood Middle School. And this comes to you tonight asking for your approval pending legal review.
And this should, the agenda item should be revised to state, right now it simply says, agenda item 4O says Rosewood Middle School contract. It should say with Daniels & Daniels. And this is for CMAR services.
Yes, sir. Pre-construction services.
Pre-construction services.
Yes, sir.
Any questions for Dr. Harrell on this item?
I got a question. This contract different from what we've already done with Rosewood Middle School? Or is this an additional cost?
No, sir. So we have several contracts. You have a contract with the architect for their services, and now you have a contract with Daniels & Daniels for their pre-construction services that the board selected them through the CMAR process. So this is just putting that contract in place that legal has been working with us on.
They will have another contract once we start construction.
Yes, sir. Once we get to the opportunity for guaranteed maximum prices to be delivered, and that is acceptable between our board and the county commissioners, then we will hopefully execute an amendment to this contract for construction services of that building.
See here, you see they have several contracts for Rosewood: architecture, pre-construction services, a lot of contracts. And one agency they mentioned was Daniels and Daniels, and they are out of Goldsboro. President Jeff Daniels, Jeremiah Daniels, Vice President William Barnes, CPA, William Royal. And of course, this may be a up and up deal, but you always have to examine the relationship of Daniels and Daniels with the board members. I don't think that is being as we saw what Don West and his son, securing contracts with their particular business. I don't think that is out of the question to consider. But here we go.
Yes, sir. So this is, what you'll see with this particular contract is the Rosewood Working Group. When we got together, we pushed really hard, and they were agreeable to having really two guaranteed maximum prices presented to the board. One was in the demolition of the old building, trying to take it down in an early site demolition package in an effort to get construction started earlier on the actual middle school itself. So this particular pre-construction contract, goes over 11-month interval, and within that 11-month interval, you will see a guaranteed maximum price for the demolition of the building, and then you'll have a GMP for the construction of the new building within that 11-month window.
So they're talking about the demolition of a building and the construction of a new building at Rosewood Middle School. However, they failed to mention the price of this contract. And maybe that's in their notes or whatever, but I think that should be public knowledge as well.
So it is a little different from what we have done for Fremont.
Any other questions, Dr. Harrell? All right, do we have a motion to approve the Rosewood Middle School contract with Daniels and Daniels Construction for pre-construction services?
So moved.
Pending legal
Pending
review.
legal review.
So moved.
We have a motion from Mr. West, we have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Joyner. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by raising your right hand. Unanimous. All right, we are on to item R.
We have item 1, which is Britt Electric. This is Rosewood Gym Temporary Service, and this is coming out of the SCIF grants for that construction of the new school in the amount of $27,700. This is to relocate power and utilities and sewer for that building so that we can continue to operate the gym during this construction phase. Item 2 is Convenient Glass. This is the storefront at Eastern Wayne High School in the modular for the Edgewood addition that we're working on there. This is a local expense, $26,300 as well.
Any questions for Dr. Harrell?
And so this is another contract where they are already doing construction, but they need more money to redistribute the power and the water so that they can make this school upgraded. And so I wanted to share this with you because just to show you the dichotomy of this situation where one school is getting upgrades, but it's only getting those upgrades after they've closed the school and relocated the students elsewhere, and they're allocating that building to administrative services. Now, another school is getting hundreds of thousands of dollars in upgrades and repairs, and there's not a discussion on it. Nobody bats an eye. One even like this is not, we don't even have to vote on it. This has already been approved by the committee. So I'm just seeing those things at this meeting and hearing Ms. James talk. And once again, I applaud Ms. James because she got up there and spoke and, voiced her opinion. And, they just looked at her almost like she was talking Spanish. But it takes more than Ms. James and a few other going up there and making sure that the legacy of Goldsboro High School and the Goldsboro High School building receive the same tender love and care as other schools. Like you literally heard them talking about demolishing a building in Rosewood or wherever, and then reconstructing that building. Now, this building, once again, if you're going to demolish one building and reconstruct it, then, that may be an option for Goldsboro High School. But you see, they are investing $250,000, basically, essentially, in removing asbestos that has been there for 12 years. Why wait for a decade and 2 years to remove something that you know was there? And according to this information that I shared, possibly may have been affecting students in their work performance and their behavior. What do you guys think? Leave your comments and everything in the in the comment section. Once again, my name is 919-587-7782. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this and any other issue, feel free to call me. But, I definitely think that this is somewhat backwards, removing asbestos that you have known to be there for 12 years, only after the students will be no longer inhabiting the schools. What do you think? I'm out. Richard Taylor. Peace and blessings.